Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're brand new here, I'm Stav, and this is my channel, She Equips Herself. And in case you don't know, I did not grow up around guns. They weren't something that I knew anything about, really, until I was 18 and started going to the gun range with my sister. But up until then, I'd never seen a gun in real life, never touched a gun. And so when I was starting to learn about guns, it was really like totally from the beginning. I had no basis, so I was starting from scratch. And now that I'm 34, I've learned a lot over these years, and that's really why I like having this channel, so that I can share the things that I learned with you guys. So today, the thing that I wanted to share are the top 5 things that you should be spending money on after you buy a gun. I know there are so many products out there where you're like, oh, I got a gun, now I need to get this, I gotta get this. But I wanted to condense it down to the top 5 things that I think are really important when you start owning and possibly carrying guns. So let's start with the first one. Number 1 is training. Training is so important. A lot of times the only thing that's required to get a license in your state is something like a basic safety class. And at least in my experience, those usually do not cover the legal aspects of carrying a gun. And I think that that's so important to know, because it's important for you to know when you're allowed to use lethal force versus non-lethal force. Not every situation where you're going to feel the need to defend yourself is going to warrant lethal force. And if you use the wrong type of force in the wrong situation, you could end up in legal trouble, which could cost you years and thousands of dollars. And along with that are the psychological ramifications of it. If you do something wrong, then you have to live with that decision and what you did. And good training can really prevent a lot of that from happening by giving you the education you need so that you can make smarter decisions. And if you don't know where to start, I do have an online course that's self-paced. You can do it on your own time. All the lessons are pre-recorded. And as part of that course, where I kind of walk you through the ins and outs of becoming a confident carrier of guns, I do go through a whole module on training, how to find good instructors. I have a training checklist as part of that lesson where you can check off all the different courses that I recommend you take, in what order I recommend you take them. So if you're just starting out and you don't really know what to do, the Armed and Confident Academy might be a good choice for you. I'll link it down below so you can see the curriculum and see if it's something that's right for you. The next thing you should be investing in after you buy a gun is a membership to a gun club or a gun range, something like that. And this is gonna depend on where you live, how close they are to you. I live in Massachusetts, which is not a super gun-friendly state, but there are quite a few gun ranges near me. And the first one I joined after I became licensed is the Mass Firearms School in Holliston. It was a great place for me to learn. They have classes, they have a shop. You can try all sorts of different firearms they have available there for rent. You can do one-on-one lessons with instructors, and it was just a really great place for me to learn. So if you're in Massachusetts, definitely check out Mass Firearms School. But you need a place to train. You need a place where you can practice all the things you're learning, and especially if they have classes there, that's a double whammy. That's awesome if they do that, because then you can learn there and then you can train on your own time and practice the things that you're learning. So many ranges will have classes and instructors, but a lot of them don't. You just go there, you shoot on your own time, but you need a place where you can train with your gun, because just buying a gun and then either carrying it or putting it in your safe at home for home defense, chances are that you'll have trouble using it properly under stress if you're not training with it frequently. So having a place to train is very, very important. Okay, number 3. If you've seen a lot of my videos before, you know that this one is a huge part of what I do, and it's a good holster. And I'd say my specialty in the whole realm of firearms is showing women how to conceal guns in different ways. So I have a billion holsters. Are they all good? No. Do I use most of them all the time? No. There are like a few of them that I use very frequently, but there are so many different options out there, and that's kind of why I make these videos reviewing different holsters, so that you can see what they are before you go and buy them. Because many holsters, especially like the belly bands and things like that, you don't know how they're gonna work until you put them on. You have to try them on. They're different sizes, so I try to give you as much information as I can through my videos before you decide what's right for you. but having a good quality holster is going to be extremely necessary if you're going to start carrying a gun. I actually started buying holsters before I was even allowed to carry legally, because I was originally licensed in the city of Boston, and if you know anything about Boston, they're super anti-gun. They restrict pretty much almost every LTC, which is licensed to carry here in Massachusetts. So when I got my license, it was restricted. I wasn't allowed to carry. I had to jump through 1,000,000,001 hoops to finally get an unrestricted license, but it took about a year of me not being allowed to carry my gun. I had a license, but I couldn't carry it. So in that time, I was looking for holsters. I was buying holsters, trying them on, using them at home to see what would work when I could finally carry. And that really helped me to figure out what works for me. But it is a lot of trial and error when it comes to holsters, at least the kind that I like, because I don't wear the same outfits every day. I like to change it up. So there was a lot of trial and error, but you're gonna need a good holster. And if you wear a holster that's on a belt, you need a good quality belt. A lot of the times, those little flimsy ones you get at Target aren't gonna be enough. You need something that's gonna be pretty rugged to hold the weight of your gun and the holster so that they don't flop around or sag, or the holster comes out of the belt. You need a good quality belt if that's your thing. It's not really mine, but it might be yours. So a good holster, and if you need one, a good belt. Number 4 is something that I'm very passionate about, and it's right here. It's pepper spray. Whether or not you carry a gun, please carry pepper spray. I really don't think there's any excuse why you shouldn't carry pepper spray. It's a great tool. It gives you a lot of capability. You can use it in a lot of circumstances that do not call for lethal force. It's effective. If you watch videos on YouTube, you can find a lot of videos of people getting pepper sprayed, and they're usually not too happy about it, but it helps to stop the threat. And these are made by Palm Industries. These are my favorite ones. This is the one that I carry all the time. I love green, so this is my favorite. But it has a clip here. I can just clip it into my pocket of whatever pants I'm wearing, and it's just right there when I need it. It's not buried at the bottom of my purse where I'm never gonna find it. It's just right in my pocket, or it's at the top of my purse. I can clip it like to the side of my purse. I can clip it to the inside of my leggings, to the side pocket of my leggings. This little clip is everything. So this is my favorite pepper spray just because of how easy it is to carry in any outfit. So I'm actually gonna be giving away 2 of them to 2 winners. So if you want to enter my Palm pepper spray giveaway, I'll have the form linked below. You're just gonna put in your name and email address so that I can contact you if you win. And then I will choose a random winner on June 22nd, 2022. So if you want to be entered to win a Palm pepper spray, I'm gonna choose 2 winners on June 22nd, 2022. Just fill out the form below, and that will enter you to win a pepper spray. But these are my favorite pepper sprays. I also have a discount code below in case you want to purchase one for yourself or for a friend. I think these make great gifts, and that everyone should carry a pepper spray. So if you want to buy a Palm, I'll link that below with a discount code so you can save some money on your purchase. If you carry a gun, that's not gonna be the right option all the time. If you're in a certain situation where you're feeling unsafe, you don't want to draw your gun if the situation doesn't call for that. And if all you have is a gun, that's what's going to come out most likely. So if you have something like pepper spray, that just gives you an additional option to deal with the different types of situations. And finally, number 5, the 5th thing that I think you should be spending money on after you buy a gun is trauma gear. This actually goes with number 1. One of the classes that you really need to find when you're gonna start carrying a gun is a good trauma class. A class that's gonna teach you how to use tourniquets, how to use chest seals, things like that, in case you are ever in a situation where there's an accident at the range, or you ever need to use your gun, or someone needs help if there's like a car accident. It's just never bad to have more information. So I think that a trauma class, like a Stop the Bleed class or an actual designated trauma class for gun owners, is a really important investment to make. But trauma gear. So these ones are actually made by Refuge Medical, and I'll link them below because they make all sorts of kits. They also have individual things that you can purchase, individual medical gear, but like this kit right here, for example, you can keep this in your car. It has a tourniquet, which I would have out of the packaging before I actually want to keep it in my car. So take it out of the packaging, have it ready to go, and then just keep this in your car if there's ever a situation where you're in a car accident or someone else is, you can grab this, make sure that it's somewhere accessible where like you and your significant other know where it is at all times. So if you keep it in the car, keep it in the same spot at all times. And then it's just this little kit you can throw in there. And inside is all this really great medical stuff. So there's a Sharpie, there's gauze, there's quick clot, there's a nasopharyngeal airway, hemorrhage control bandage, quick clot. And if you go to a trauma class and you don't like some of this stuff and you want to substitute something else, you can make your own kits. There's hyphen chest seals in here. There's just a lot of great stuff in a small compact kit. This one is just a tourniquet with TQ in big red letters, so it's easy to find, and trauma shears on the back, so that's another quick thing you could have. I like to have a tourniquet in my range bag, in my purse, in my car, usually with a larger medical kit. So have these things accessible. If it's going to be in your car when you're at the range and something happens, that's not going to be helpful to you. So always have it somewhere where you can get to it within a few seconds if something happens. Before you start carrying this stuff, take a trauma class, learn how to use tourniquets and all this gear properly in case you ever need to use it. But that's super important if you're going to start carrying a gun, because if you ever need to use it and then you're injured or someone else is injured, you don't want to be stuck not knowing what to do or not having the right gear to be able to help yourself or someone else. Trauma gear is something that you should definitely be investing in, along with a trauma class, which goes with the first thing we talked about. If you want to check out Refuge Medical Gear, I'll link their stuff below so you can see all of the trauma kits they have and all the medical gear. Good American company to support if you're looking for good trauma gear. So that's going to do it for my top 5 things. Make sure to enter my giveaway and check all the links below for any details of things that we talked about today. Also, comment below if there's something you would add to this list, because just because I say top 5, that doesn't mean that there aren't more. So let us know down below what you bought after you bought a gun and if there's anything I missed in this list. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe. Bye.